Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of David's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Shailene. So, we will begin with Dermot. Dermot, what is Shailene to you?
This is Shailene, and I asked Shailene out 156 times.
Mel, how do you know Shailene?
This is Shailene. When we were kids, I cut her hair to plump up the stuffing in my teddy bear.
There we are. Finally, David
I want
Mitchell.
that to be true. I want that to be
that's
true.
amazing.
How do you know Shailene, David?
This is Shailene. She is the swimming pool lifeguard who talked me into letting go of the diving board I was clinging to after I panicked mid-boing.
So, there we have it. Is it Dermot's romance rejecter, Mel's teddy stuffing supplier, or David's diving board saviour? Lee, where do you want to start?
Wow, where do we start with that one? Dermot. When was this?
I would have been probably 14, and Shailene was a year younger than me.
How did you do it? Was it all face-to-face?
Yep.
As opposed to what?
We went to...
He was 14?
Do
sorry.
you know, before... it was all different. In the old days, what we used to do is just press our faces against the bathroom window and shout.
Dermot, just to be clear, how many times did you ask her out?
156.
In how many sittings?
Probably over the course of about 18 months.
18 months.
Why did you count them? Yeah.
Because...
It takes 156 times for him to know she's not interested.
After a while, it became like almost like a rite of passage. Shailene lived in a different village to the village I grew up in.
Which village was this?
I grew up in a village called Mark's Tay, and Shailene lived in Great Tay. Normally...
Where was this? Mordor?
and Shailene went to the same youth club as me.
Youth club? Let's get him more rock and roll, this story.
Shailene was the only girl in the village who had black hair, and...
Have you looked to your left? At least made this realistic.
Yeah. She had black hair, all in kind of a lovely sort of 80s Madonna-style quiff.
So the first time you asked her out, she said no. How long did you leave it till the second time?
The next week.
So it was every week you were doing it?
Yeah.
Every week, 156 weeks, 18 months.
Twice
That
a
adds
week.
up.
Sometimes twice a week.
Rob's thinking it does, but it doesn't.
Sometimes like twice a week, sometimes twice in the same night. Oh, go on, go out.
So, when it got to 100, did you not think, probably not going to happen?
Thought I'm still in. Keep batting.
Lee, who else would you like to quiz?
Who should we go with next?
Mel.
OK, so how old were you?
When the haircutting happened...
Yes, obviously, I don't mean...
Oh, sorry.
No, how old were you on your 12th birthday?
So, Shailene's older sister, Charlotte, is a good friend of mine.
Shailene and Charlotte?
Yes, Shailene and Charlotte.
Who was her dad? Sean Connery?
Shailene and Charlotte came over to ours to do a sleepover. We had a bunk bed, and I wanted her to sleep on the top bunk.
Yeah, this is the bit, you see.
Because we had a game in our house whereby if you slept on the top bunk, you had to drape your hair over the side of the bunk.
Rapunzel?
I had a secret plan with Shailene. I wanted her to fall asleep on the top bunk so that I could cut her beautiful hair.
Now,
I didn't cut that much.
Right. How much did you cut? That's
2 inches.
a lot of hair.
So having cut this hair off,
Yes.
what did you do with it?
So I had this lovely, beloved teddy bear patch and had a bit of a hole in it.
What?
I remember exactly where.
Where?
Shoulder down to mid-arm.
How did the hole start? Did you make the hole?
Just love. Just love.
Is that what you call love? Ripping off a man's arm?
Dermot.
Lee, what about David?
David, remind us again of this utter truth.
Shailene is the swimming pool lifeguard who
yeah.
talked me down when I was clasping onto a diving board.
Were you actually hanging off it?
Yeah, I had, like, my arms around it like that, and it was at head height.
But how did you get to that position?
I was considering jumping off the diving board, and I remained indecisive too long in the process.
And at the last minute you went but panicked and stopped.
Exactly.
And of course,
I sort of
you weren't
slid off it and grabbed it and then was left there dangling.
And had you gone to the pool specifically to dive, or had you gone with a bunch of mates and you were larking around, bombing, heavy petting, all the things that we're not supposed to do, but if I know you, the rebel that you are, you'd have been doing them.
It was one of my regular late-night music parties in the municipal baths.
How old were you?
It was recently.
How recently?
It was just about an hour ago. No, it was last autumn.
I'd have thought if David Mitchell had been hanging off a diving board, someone would have taken a photo and tweeted that, wouldn't they?
I don't think you're allowed to have your mobile phones in swimming pools.
Come the advent of the aquaphone, my water sports days are over.
Have you ever dived in off a diving board headfirst at that point?
No, and I certainly wasn't planning on doing this head first.
Oh, you were going to go feet first?
Absolutely.
And so you jumped... You started...
I was thinking of this programme, and I thought, well, I can lose up to about there and it'll be fine. They could prop the remnant on a bar stool, and I can still do the job. So I thought, I'll go in with the non-panel show end first.
As you've leapt off, at that point you think, I'm going in, change your mind, spin in the air, grab the board and land and just do that. Because I think that's a 10. I think it's a 10.
It was the moment of indecision
that made you stumble.
Changed how I mean, I can't entirely...
Did you...
It's bizarre, considering it happened to me, that I can't entirely visualise it.
What are you thinking, Lee?
I want to know exactly how Shailene talked down David.
She said, "Are you all right?" Which, wasn't the best question in the world, but...
She's clearly trained.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I think I said something like, "Oh, yeah, sorry, I slipped."
Sorry, I slipped? One minute you're panicking, and then sorry, I slipped. Forgive me.
She stood at the side.
Even in near-death situations, you're middle class. Sorry, I slipped, my dear.
I didn't say...
Did you fetch my cravat? It appears to have wafted away.
I didn't say, sorry, I slipped in a suave tone of voice. But I did say sorry because it's very deeply ingrained in me to apologise at almost any occasion.
So how did you say it then, if you didn't say it in a suave
Sorry,
way?
I slipped! Sorry, I slipped!
Like that. You were quite panicked.
I was quite panicked.
What happened then? What did she say?
She said, "It's all right, stay calm. Too late." I screamed.
Where is she? She's on the floor, is she up top?
She has got on the diving board.
What, she's up
Give
there
it a
with
little
you?
wobble, yeah? She's giving it a little wobble.
She's not got to the boingy end.
Do you mind if I have a little skip whilst we're doing this?
It was only after a few minutes had passed that she threatened to boing me off.
Wow! I'll tell you what, these municipal swimming pools... Do you know what? I would say that constitutes heavy petting.
So you were hanging on for a few minutes?
No, not really for a few. I think for about 4 or 5 minutes.
4 or 5 minutes? What, the eagle-eyed lifeguard?
She just...
Oh, I wish I could use me whistle. How did she make you go from I don't want to let go to let go? What kind of words did she use?
It's okay, just drop in. Promise you won't
Just
hit
drop
the
in! I'm around 3 o'clock till 6 on Thursday.
She just
Do you
said,
have Earl Grey ice cream?
feel free to drop in anytime you like.
Go on, yeah, so go on. So you're hanging up. What did she say to make you let go?
I think it's fine, you won't hurt yourself. She said, this happens a lot. If you'd come in here half an hour earlier, there'd been 3 of you on 3 of the boards. You've only just cleared the last backlog.
OK, so Lee, we need an answer. Is Shailene Dermot's romance rejecter, Mel's teddy stuffing supplier, or David's diving board saviour? What do you think?
David had to hang on to something for 4 or 5 minutes.
That's a long time to hang on.
Time.
You couldn't hang on that long.
Dermot said she had black hair.
156.
There's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot, and it's a very specific number.
Too precise.
I think Mel...
It's got to be Mel.
Mel had emotion and feeling.
You say Mel?
I would go Mel.
I'll go with the team and say Mel.
You're all in agreement. OK. Shailene, please reveal your true identity.
Hi, I'm Shailene, and Dermot asked me out 156
Thank you, Shailene. Thank you very much.